Good morning. My name is Iker. I'm 19 years old and I've been collaborating with MMUN for the past 6 years. I've been going through all the processes. First start as a delegate and finding a voice for myself, and then becoming part of the bureau in order to be able to give the same opportunity to the rest of future delegates. First, started as a rapporteur, then going to vice chair, and now getting to my actual role of chair of the committee. But today, what we're going to see is how the delegates work during their year-long program, and also how they get ready for the future conference. So please, follow me.
Iker,
Hello,
welcome
Chris.
back to Montessori Palau.
Thank you very much. How are you doing? Good?
I'm good, and
Thank
you?
you. Wow, could you please guide us a bit through what we're going to see today in the school?
Yeah, sure. As you know, our 9th grade students are delegates, or will be delegates at the next online conference. And you're going to be seeing them working their English classes, preparing their digital presentation, country presentation, which used to be a physical thing, but obviously for online, it's digital. Then later on after lunch, you're going to see them working with older students who are bureau members, who are going to be helping them to prepare their opening speeches, because tomorrow afternoon, we're going to have an opening committee session where they'll be able to deliver their opening speeches.
That sounds great.
Great. How do you feel about taking a walk around the school?
I'd love to. Thank you very much.
Let's go.
MMUN has a big thing, which is there's no competition between the participants, and that's a big part. Also, another part is that since it's Montessori, it keeps most of the Montessori principles, and it's related with the work that we do in the classroom, so that makes it easier for the children to participate because they feel close to that. I was one of the first teachers that had the training. I was trained in Geneva with Judith, with other 2 teachers, but before myself, it was 2 other secondary teachers that took the training.
All of you are taking part in the Montessori Model United Nations, right? So far you've prepared a speech. Do you remember delivering speech in your English class to your classmates, right? Now, the next step is that you have to prepare a project on the country that you have been assigned, that you are representing, right? So we are going to do it in teams. Good. So now, in teams, decide what part of the project each of you is going to carry out, right? You may start.
They've been working with the older bureau members to help them to write their opening speeches. They've just practiced with their opening speeches here. Some of them were really, really very well written and very well delivered. Obviously, the English language level is diverse depending on their level of development in that area. But that's another one of the important things about MMUN for us. It gives our students who aren't native English speakers, it gives them the opportunity to practice their English in a really meaningful context.
Hello, my name is Laia Rabarte. I'm representing Namibia. My committee is ECOSOC, and my topic is Leaving No One Behind. Discrimination is the word that refers to prejudicial treatment of different categories of people. Nowadays, discrimination is so working in many countries, and
First of all, she learned a lot of English because she had to use many specific terms related to the issues she was working on. And then apart from this, she became more mature in terms of initiative and autonomy. So she learned to look up information and different sources on her own. And apart from that, when she traveled to Rome in 2019, she also got to know many different people from many different countries. She even was able to learn how to be in a formal place with other people carrying out these long sessions. We can say that she developed her autonomy and maturity most of all.
15 years of my life I spent in these classes. This was the start of my career and my formation, but it was also the start of my dream with MMUN. In these tables, I started doing the first solutions for our committee. We started drafting the first ideas for our opening speeches, and we also started doing the first meeting with our delegations. So right here is where I first started feeling that my opinion mattered. In a place like this is where we do our preparation for our conference, because the year-long program is not only a one-week thing where you go to a conference, you get to meet new people, and then you go home. Here is where we work for a whole year in order to get ready for the actual conference. Here you really feel that you can make a change, and you can then here get ready to then go to a conference and talk to people from all over the world to actually start making this change. Well, so what's next? Where are we going?
We're off down to the school theatre because, well, we've got our older students who are the bureau members are going to be running an opening, like a simulation of an opening session where we do introductions, icebreakers, and then the delegates will be delivering their opening speeches. And if there's time, we may even be able to hold like a first formal consultation.
So that's great practice for committee session.
Yeah, sure.
Let's go then.
Should we go? How did you go on in New York?
It was amazing. It was pretty much smaller, but it was still good.
Yeah, I heard there's about like 400 delegates, right?
Yeah, it did COVID, so
Yeah, that's true. Here we are. I'm just going to check the kids out, okay?
Perfect,
Won't be a
of course.
minute.
we are now going to see how they practice the opening speeches. So, come with me.
Welcome, delegates, to the opening practice session for the 2022 March Conference. You now have the floor.
Thank you for the floor, esteemed borough and fellow delegates. Unfortunately, as we know, climate change does not have a straightforward impact on the people that cause it. My country, the Ivory Coast, has been stabbed by floods and droughts year after year and has caused a significant risk to our economy. It's made it futile for us to try and grow as a global player or as an advanced country. We have for years now welcomed students to come into our country with student visas to study the impacts of climate change where it's most imminent. We also welcome all UN member states to invest in climate change research to be able to study its effects in a country in which it's battered the most. We are also seeking help from the UNDP, the United Nations Development Programme, to do research in our country and to possibly find its bestest solution to climate change. Thank you very much.
Right, so you're Ivory Coast, you're talking on the topic of protection of climate change, right?
Exactly.
So do you have any specific solutions that you would be able to apply?
Well, we've seen a range of solutions that we could use. Most of them do involve organizations and ONGs, both using financial help and having volunteers come out to our country physically to study the impacts of climate change. More specifically, we've looked at the United Nations Development Programme to seek this financial aid so students from around the world can see the impacts of climate change and study them from the Ivory Coast.
I really encourage you to have fun, to enjoy this conference. But as I see you very passionate, I'm sure that you will go to future conferences and also be able to go actually in person. So thank you very much for your time.
Oh, thank you very much.
Delegate, you now have the floor.
Thank you for the floor, esteemed Bureau and fellow delegates. My name is Annette and I represent the country of Ivory Coast. Every year, millions of patients in shortages or die because of unsafe care and poor quality health. Ivory Coast has around 1 doctor per 6,000 inhabitants. Moreover, the health system doesn't have vehicles to transport blood, medicines, or patients, which hinders successful care. This is a very important problem that we have to solve right now. According to the facts mentioned before, to guarantee patient safety, campaigns should be organized to collect money and use those benefits to improve hospitals and medical resources. It's essential to improve working conditions for healthcare professionals as well as ensuring the physiological stability and well-being. That could be done by creating resting areas or including an independent mental health professional group. Thank you for your attention.
I just saw you do the opening speech. It was an amazing job as well, so congratulations.
Thank you.
And I would like to ask you, how do you feel that the year-long program has helped you to be ready for the conference?
Well, we have been doing some exercise like an essay. That one of these is the opening speech and the position paper. And in English class we did speaking, and this helped me to improve my English.
Right, and I know you've been preparing through the year-long program for an in-person conference, but now that it's going to be online, how do you feel about this online process and how can you benefit from it?
Obviously, it's better to do it precisely because you have more contact with other people, but it's necessary to do it online because the world situation.
Thank you very much. Well, congratulations for your job. You did an amazing job, so thank you very much and good luck with the conference.
Thank you.
Well, the study tour around Montessori Palau Girona is over. Now, we gotta let the delegates get ready for the conference, which I'm sure they're gonna do amazing, so see you there, delegates.
Hi, and welcome to Hudson Montessori School. We are in Jersey City, right across from New York City, and our students enjoy participating in the Montessori Model UN. And today I'm going to give you a little tour of how we incorporate this program in our school, and let's go take a look and see what the students are working on.
Hi, my name is Gina Reeves. I'm the director here at Hudson Montessori School. We decided 6 years ago to embark on the journey of including MMUN into our program because we feel that anybody at any age can't make a difference, can't make a positive impact if they don't have information, if they don't know things, and they don't find out authentically and in a first-hand manner about things where they can think about it, process it, and try to come up with some solutions. MMUN does this in so many positive ways. It brings these children together so that they can hear different points of view, what it's like to live in different places around the world, what their childhood is like versus somebody else's childhood.
So I'll give you a little glimpse into how we incorporate the Montessori Model UN in our classroom, and we start with exploring the Sustainable Development Goals. And here I have some of our students who will explain to you what we do.
We find out how we can help the SDGs thrive and how we can achieve them. And we studied them and we checked out how countries are doing with the SDGs.
I came across SDGs 1, 2, 3, and 4, but my favorite SDG is Life Below Water. I'm just really into animals.
My name is Stacy Manning. I have been a Montessori teacher for 19 years now. I first came to hear of the Montessori Model United Nations program 12 years ago and was absolutely blown away by what students were able to not only understand but accomplish.
When we do the year-long program, we and the students have the opportunity to learn how the committee sessions work. We have to kind of set up, again, the simulation, so they help set up the space. The older students who have participated in the Montessori Model UN before, they know how a committee session works. So they have created the mock committee session rooms here, so our students who are doing it for the first time can experience what a committee session is.
So when in the past, say a fourth-year student would take longer to kind of come out of their shell and understand the way things work. They would be more observers. Now, they go in confident and strong and with an understanding of what not only they're going to be experiencing, but what is available for them to experience.
So the first thing you will have
after we have roll call and everything, is you will have debate. Now, debate means a speech. Everybody is going to take turn or going to take time to share their point, their viewpoint.
For my daughter, who is more on the reserve side, shy, this has boosted her confidence. She was able to come up, deliver her speech, deliver her point of view, and when she finished, she was glowing with relief and being able to conquer that fear of having to present in front of so many people.
Well, you have to do many conferences and agree and disagree with the delegates that you're working with. This is my second virtual conference, but I've never actually had an in-person conference. The best part of this program for me is learning new things.
Some things I've learned is that different countries have problems I didn't really know about. Some countries that you might think is in good shape may really not be in good shape. And also different people around the world can use their voice and they can make a difference. My favorite part is the conference because you get to interact with other people and listen to what they have to say and learn about problems and solutions that you can fix.
So last year, due to the coronavirus pandemic, we had to be virtual. But hopefully this year we'll be in person at the UN General Assembly. First of all, I would say that in MMUN a lot of consensus is used. That is very beneficial. For example, we have to be in consensus to make a paper. Similarly, at my house, for example, we have to agree on certain things to do something.
This experience, the whole MMUN experience, is life-changing for these students. They grow, mature, really come into their own because it's something that they take full ownership of. It's not someone telling them what to do or what to think. They are responsible for the thoughts and actions, and they're empowered. And anytime you can allow or give a child, a student, that opportunity to be able to take on that level of care, that you're going to come out in a better place. And we see how much they grow. Kids who normally might hold back or be a little more reserved find their voice. They get a platform to be heard. And I think that in human nature is all any of us want, is to be heard. But in this instance, they also learn how to listen, which is a skill all of us need to embrace. And if we can infuse it in them at this age, we're going to be a much better world later on.
I think we could maybe remove the last bit of man-made problems, or sorry, man has caused. Because Maybe the different problems that are present, not just because we already say man-made problems. We already know the other problems that we have caused. I don't think we need to repeat that again.
Supports establishment of special programs to get a better understanding and encourage the population to stay healthy and to trust the medical system. Emphasize the importance of a high literacy rate of patients and doctors. Recommends that patients will have an explanation so they can trust the medical team. Encourage coordination from medical staff so they can have extra support and train are less stressed. Calls upon the better education of doctors and patients about medication.
The delegation of the Ivory Coast would suggest that we change the word growing into advancing or something different. I don't see climate change really growing as a thing. Maybe it's advancing, it's getting worse, but it's not really, it can't really grow. It's not getting bigger, it's getting worse.
Before doing my opening speech, I was so nervous because I heard the other people and they did it very well. But then I did it and I was so comfortable doing my speech and it was very good. I was so happy. For me, MMUN is a big experience to meet people, to learn English, and it's a very big project that I enjoyed a lot.
I think my most important, most memorable moment out of this was really just reading through the final paper and seeing how all the ideas, all the different committees and all the different delegates had in the group were all put together with general consensus. We didn't have to vote on it. Everyone agreed on one thing, but it was this really nice, great paper explaining all the solutions we had proposed. To me, the MMUN is really more than just a conference. It's somewhere where you get to meet with people who have the same interests as you, and you get to debate and discuss a topic you really care about. To me, it's been a really thrilling experience and something I really liked.
So guys, today is our first day of committee session. What are you looking forward to most?
I am most looking forward to my speech because I've spent a lot of time preparing for it.
And Jay, how do you feel about giving your speech today?
I feel good about giving my speech because I spent a lot of time like Avi did on it, and I'm also looking forward to seeing other people say their speeches and listening to them, taking notes and learning other people's advice.
Trisha, what are you looking forward to in committee session today?
I'm looking forward to hearing other people present their speeches and working on the paper and interacting with other people. And I'm also want to present my speech.
All right, guys, well, it's time to head to our committee sessions. So I wish you all a very wonderful day full of positive things, and I know that you are going to come out with great ideas.
So I'm Judith Cunningham. I'm a Montessori educator, and I'm the founder of Youth for a Better World. So how did MMUN, or Youth for a Better World, begin? It was one of those serendipitous moments. I was invited to accompany my husband to a dinner. And it was going to be a nice dinner in New York City with a UN ambassador with whom there was potential business they were going to do together. The ambassador asked about me and my background. I told him I was a Montessori educator, and then he asked me a question that changed my life. He said, "Is there a Montessori Model United Nations program?" I thought, no, I'd never heard of one. He knew that Montessori's mission was really world peace. So what a great question. And when he said no, he said to me, well, then that's your job. But if you accept it, I'll make sure you have access to the United Nations. So it's one of those offers you can't refuse.
I'm Gabriel Forstieri, and I'm the Director of Training. I've been with MMUN since the beginning. I like to take a kind of triangle of words: formality, respect, and inclusion. And those three tensions between formality, respect, and inclusion are what really make the Bureau special, because they keep everyone inside that triangle. And of course, each one can bend a little bit in terms of what's needed to make sure there's more inclusion. Perhaps the formality will go away a little bit. But the formality is very important because the students are ambassadors. They're wearing suits, they're speaking in formal language, and they're talking about topics that they don't usually get to discuss in other places. So keeping that formality is what keeps the simulation of an ambassador in the room. And that's very important because that's what gives them the sense that their voice matters. And that lesson continues forward way past committee session. And that's really what the Bureau is tasked with, is creating that atmosphere, protecting it, and making sure the environment is matching the students with their work, keeping them included, and holding that formality, all with respect.
Thank you, distinguished chair and fellow delegates. The whole world is trying to protect the global climate for present and future generations of humankind, as 2020 was more than 1.2 degrees Celsius hotter than about 170 years ago. More than 10,000 species are affected by this temperature change. Because of Rwanda's high economic growth, their living standards are improving and the carbon emissions are increasing, a key factor of climate change. To neutralize carbon emissions, Rwanda has implemented reforestation projects. The delegate of Rwanda requests delegates to follow Rwanda's example and also to process unused biomass by either fermentation or transesterification to create biofuels. As said by Chai Jing, a prominent journalist, the strongest governments on earth cannot clean up pollution by themselves. They must rely on each ordinary person, like you and me, on our choices and on our will. Thank you for your time and attention.
We exist because of volunteers, because people have a shared vision that believe in this work and want to create the future ambassadors of tomorrow. Students who are prepared for the world that is around them, for the world they are inheriting, for the world that is evolving.
Thank you, distinguished chair and fellow delegates. Imagine living in a world where it's hot, trash is everywhere, and you can't even breathe. While we're just sitting around throwing everything out, ignoring the recycling bin, CO2 is filling up air and landfills are reaching to the sky. Because of greenhouse gases, landfill dumping, and agriculture, there is less oxygen and more natural disasters. On average, 60,000 people die because of natural disasters, and 4.2 million people die of air pollution every year. Indonesia is working towards fixing this. Indonesia is continuously using less CO2 and more renewable energy. Indonesia calls upon other countries to raise awareness, follow Indonesia's example, and propose other solutions. These problems need to be solved by 2030. You need to act now. Thank you for your time and attention.
It's really important for students to have a sense of internationalism, that we are one world, we are all interconnected, that there is human solidarity. And I'm going to quote Dr. Montessori because she envisioned this in the 1930s. She said we were la nazione unica, we're one nation, one world. There are no real borders between people. When you work with students, they have the idealism, they have the energy, they know how to collaborate with others, and when you put that energy together, they feel empowered, they have a sense of well-being, confidence, and that's what we need to create a better world.
I would say it is very exciting. I'm not used to the style of live conferences yet. I got a bit surprised by the style, but other than that, it was great fun.
The topic for tomorrow is leaving no one behind. It involves poverty and how some people don't have enough money and so on. Well, first when I heard about the UN, I thought it was just going to be some boring conference with a bunch of talks and stuff. But then when I actually went in today and I saw everything, it made me feel better, and it turned out it isn't as boring as I thought it was.
This is what I took out the most from MMUN, was actually being able to feel that my voice was being heard, even though I was very, very young, and that I could actually make a change while being so young. Going back to my community and actually doing something, this is what I feel that MMUN is really all about.
MMUN, for me, is an unforgettable experience.
It's a once-in-a-life experience.
It's a great chance. It's an opportunity to meet new people.
It's fantastic.
It's incredible.
It's an opportunity.
It's inspiring.
It's a big dream.
It's a good experience.
Exceptional.
It's amazing.
It's a unique experience.